Rwanda's tourism sector has registered impressive growth over the years, allowing the country to generate millions of dollars in revenues. In 2019, the sector hit the $500 million mark, with expectations that revenues from tourism could exceed $800 million by 2024. Although the COVID-19 pandemic has had a heavy toll on the sector, Rwanda has been plotting an ambitious recovery. One sector that Rwanda has placed its hopes to drive this recovery is hospitality. Welcome to Doing Business in Rwanda. My name is Julius Bizmongo. Although the pandemic hit the Rwandan economy, investors in the hotel space were not deterred. Rwanda has seen a rise in new hotels.
The first half of 2022 already indicated that we had reached 80% of tourism revenues pre-pandemic, while revenues of national parks, including the Volcanoes National Park, have slightly exceeded pre-pandemic levels. Recovery is underway. Despite the pandemic, we registered total new investments in the tourism sector worth $353 million in 2020 and 2021. New additions in our tourism sector include Cleo in Karongi, Umva Lodge in Rwamagana, 4 Points in Kigali, the hot air balloon in Akagera, Ellen campus of Dian Fossey here in Kinigi, as well as the acquisition of Hotel Umuwano by Movenpick, a brand of Accor. All these happened during the pandemic.
Yeah, so we broke ground last April 2021. We were constructing for 9 months with Clezol, our contractors. And so 9 months from start to finish in terms of construction. And then we launched earlier this year, Q1 this year. And still very much in the pandemic. It definitely was not easy. But something we saw an opportunity in what would happen after the pandemic. I mean, we definitely saw the light at the end of the tunnel and saw that, hey, we're going to get out of this. And I think at the end of it, we're going to need to bring people together in a different way.
I saw there's something missing into the designing part in the hotels. Then I said, let me take that niche. So after taking that niche, that's why I find we have like more of artistic things in our property. We chop the car, it's a safari car, to make it more of a counter. So I wanted like to pull the art lovers and the people who want to see things they've never seen before. So that's a reason I made this venture.
When we created this place, we really wanted a place for us to enjoy. And I think as tourism and hospitality change and evolve over time, you start to want different things. And I think I've obviously had the luxury of being able to travel around the world and see all these different concepts. And so we pulled all that together into Umva. Now, what does Umva kind of represent? Well, I would say there's 3 things. One that we work on is community. How do we bring people together in different ways? My philosophy is the most memorable experiences that you have are all around the people that you meet and interact with. So 1 is community. 2 is adventure. So being able to go explore the lake, the mountains, the hills here on mountain bike, being able to go kayaking in the lake, do some yoga, play some tennis. So 2 is adventure, really instilling that sense of adventure in your experience here. And then 3 is sustainability. So when we set out to do this, we said, if we're going to do this, we really have to think about what the implication is on the environment, on the future. And so when we built this, we said, let's make sure we invest in things like solar, our own garden, wastewater treatment, no single-use plastics, even an electric car that we have in the parking lot right now.
To be honest with you, Daza Escape, it was a success. To me, I opened up in Corona, in COVID time. It wasn't easy, but the way how Rwandese took it, and even other foreigners. So I'm thinking because of this one, it's a success. So I'm thinking to venture into other parks like Akagera, Nyungwe, and even seeing beyond our borders to Uganda, Kisoro, that side, because all of us were into, most of our class, our tourists were coming to see the gorillas. So I'm seeing even how we can even go beyond our country. I can't say my timing was good, because after finishing, the COVID came in, but I said I have to keep my head up because everything has an end. So I said, let me keep my head up with good services and one of the best team we have here at the property. So we pushed. I'm not saying we made like a lot of profits, but you're floating. And that was our main basic, that was our goal, to remain floating. So until the time, until the COVID ends, then we hit it hard.
Rwanda has laid the foundation for investors. It has built world-class conferences, conducted aggressive marketing, and devised a strategy to brand itself as a tourism destination. But is that all that is attracting investors to pour money into hotel establishments?
First of all, it's very easy to be an investor in Rwanda. I've never invested in other countries on the continent, but in this country, it's a transparent process, it's very easy to register a business, and there's a lot of support afterward. So I find it easy to invest and expand our business here. And also, Kigali is this gem of a city. I think the fact that it's the cleanest, safest city in Africa really has drawn not just tourists, but business travelers, sports tourism. We're seeing so many reasons now why people want to come spend time in Kigali, and it's not just for guerrilla tourism. As you know, there's a new world-class golf course. We hosted Ball recently. We had the Commonwealth meetings with heads of nations here. So there's so many reasons why people are now interested in coming to Rwanda. And the fact that it is so stable, clean, and safe makes it very easy to make people feel secure coming.
Rwanda really positioned itself as a low-impact tourism destination when they set the permits at $1,500. And that has really paid off for them, because it has attracted luxury resorts and luxury lodges to the destination. So we see that, for instance, in Nungwe, one and only Nungwe House is the only ultra luxury resort in that area, with only 23 rooms. And all the tourism services are built around luxury tourism for guests, offering tours in different languages. For instance, if you go to the Genocide Memorial, great infrastructure, not only road infrastructure, but also internet, which is very important to the ultra high net worth individual.
I really think that it's both a combination of the climate, how easy it is to be an investor here, and how much support there is through government. And also just there's so much opportunity here. I think people are seeing, wow, Rwanda is not only easy to do business, but also they see ways where investing could really, that they will succeed. I mean, whether, like I said, whether it's for tourists coming just for wildlife and cultural travel, or business travelers with your conference centers and the new event space that we have in the city, the new eco park, right? There's a lot of reasons why now people are coming, and I think that is why investors are not weary to continue to build and invest here.
Rwanda has made one of the best conservation success stories. The mountain gorillas in the Volcanoes National Park and the Big Five animals in Akaja National Park have attracted millions of tourists every year. As a result, investors have seen an opportunity to build hospitality establishments in and around these areas.
I think we are lucky to be having the gorillas up here, and one of the best climate in the world, which you can find anywhere. And during all our time, our climate is one of the best climate, and having the gorillas, it's another chance we have. So most of the even the international hotels are coming in. It's because of the mostly the gorillas we have here, and the golden monkeys, and the good climate. So mostly people are being driven by climate and the tourism part of the in the Virunga Mountains.
In 2019, when we opened Magashi in partnership with Akagera Management Company or African Parks and the Rwandan Development Board, the aim was to conserve this area and make Akagera National Park sustainable by bringing in high-value tourists from all over the world to experience this beautiful Akagera. I believe that tourists today, or our guests as we refer to them, are looking for a real and genuine experience. Not something fake, but more raw, real, wild. And you know, be in an area that is untamed and unfenced and like real, genuine experience. So up close encounters that you can experience in Rwanda, if it's with the gorillas or the chimpanzees, or here in Akagera National Park with all the safari wildlife that you can see.
With the increasing number of hotel investments, investors will have to learn to navigate competition. For some, the pie for accommodation is big, and for others, it means just being creative, innovative, and offering experiences that guests and tourists will not get everywhere.
I think you have the Marriotts, you have your Serenas, you have these all really big reputable brands, and they're providing a really, really great service for the industry. They're primarily in Kigali. I think most of the big players are in the capital cities, and they're servicing your conference crowds, your business travelers, your folks who really want to go with trusted brands. My thinking on this is that the industry is changing. It's changing very, very quickly. I mean, with the likes of having Airbnb and having information more publicly available about really beautiful, amazing places and experiences, you're starting to see travelers seek out off the beaten path experiences and opportunities. And so in terms of competition, number one, I love competition, but I actually don't see the competition. To me, there's a very big pie in Rwanda for tourism and accommodation, and you have your business travelers. But for us, we're looking for the adventurers, the people who want to seek out experiences, like I said. And that market, I think, is extremely untapped right now.
There are other players in the hospitality industry in Kigali, of course. We are a small family-owned boutique hotel, so our approach is a very customized, personal approach. We really enjoy showing the beauty of the culture of Rwanda to our guests, and that's a big part of what we do on site. So we've built these beautiful rooms, and we're proud of it, but really the story goes back to the people, training and teaching, and it's the people who work here who make the experience so special. For 17 years, this is why our family has chosen to stay. We see the potential and the beauty of the people and how much we want to develop leaders in this sector. And so every day, this is the work that we do. We teach and train. One of my top employees right now, Clemence, grew up in one of the orphanages in the country, and she is leading my guest relations team. She is a top manager. Our guests love her, and she creates these wonderful experiences for our guests. So we see everyone working here growing and learning new skills and then becoming leaders in the industry. So this is the story. We want to keep investing because we want to keep our little contribution in part of this overall success story in hospitality.
As Rwanda continues to develop its tourism sector, the rising hotel investment and hospitality facilities will grow in tandem, allowing Rwanda's economy to grow and become competitive in the region. That's all we had for today's episode of Doing Business Rwanda. See you next time.